Good morning, guys. Today we are going to continue on working on the second chicken coop. I have my plans laid out for what I want to get done. And today we are going to be cutting up the side panels, making the windows, putting the roof on, and just see how far we can get today. So let's start doing some measurements, we'll do some cutting, and I'll see where we end up. All right, first thing we gotta do is measure out the width. I'm gonna go inside the channel. 26 1/4 here. And 33. And 27 1/4. All right, let's lay those measurements down. All right, we have 26 1/4. And we have 33 on the high end. That panel cut, let's see how that fits. All right, now we have that cut. Let's drop it in there and see how she fits. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so I'm gonna cut the one for the other side, and then we'll work on the back. Okay, here's where we are so far. I got the two side panels done. I got the piece cut for the back. This piece up here is going to be left open for a little bit of ventilation. We're going to put some screening in there. I got the roof cut. We're going to put some roofing shingles on there, which I have right here. and then we're going to cover it with some of that tin roof got back there. This trim board has to go back in here, hide that. But next thing I need to do is I got to cut the windows out. We got to get those set up. And then this front door is going to have an opening for the electric door. And then this side is just going to have another window in it, so I'll have to cut a piece out for that one. All right, let me cut these two panels for the front doors next. All right, got the two front panels cut out and fitted in there. And now I just got to cut two small panels to fit in there. All right, so let's do that next. All right, so this is the door panel. And what I did was I marked out a square inside that is going to be a window. So what I did was I put my straight edge on here, and then I'm just taking my circular saw, cutting the slice inside of here. I'll have to just finish off the corners because I don't want to cut over. So I'm going to cut the four lines on here, and then I'll just finish up the corners. Okay, now we'll just finish off the corners. Okay, now we have the window cut out. So I'm going to make a frame to go around that, and then I'll recess a piece of plexiglass in there, and then I'll put some screening on the back of it so we can open it up in the nice weather, let the air in, and then close it down when it gets cold out. Okay, this one here, I'm going to have to cut a hole to fit the door, the power sliding door, so I'm not going to mess with that at the moment, but I will do the windows on the sides and the back now. Ready? Now we have the side window. I'm going to cut one on the other side also. These are going to have flip-up windows to let ventilation in. This back one, I'm just going to cut an opening and put a piece of plexiglass. It's not going to open because the back of this is going to be up against the fence. I want to allow sunlight to get in, but there's no sense in putting a door and a hinge and all that because it's not going to open. Okay, to make this easy and uniform, I'm just going to take the panel I just cut, lay it on top of the other panel that I have to cut, and I'll just scribe the line, and I'll have the same exact size window. Okay, so I'll do the same thing again. Basically, I have it lined out. I put my straight edge on here. I set it so that it's right on the line. And then I'll just drop down and run the cut. All right, you can see how it's shaping up. I'm gonna make some framework for the windows, and we'll see about painting the panels so we can get those all installed. All right, let me work on some framework. All right, whenever I go to Home Depot, I always look in their scrap bin because they always have a bunch of wood there. I found these 3 planks and they were discounted. And it was funny because when I went to the register with all my other wood, he was looking at it and he's like, I don't even know what price that is. Just take it. So I got these 3 planks of wood at no charge. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to take these and cut them up a little bit, and we're going to use these for the framework around the windows. So let's clean them up and get that started. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these boards down to a little bit more manageable size because they're pretty long. I don't know, like 12 footers or something. So I'm just going to cut down a couple of pieces that I know are going to fit in here, and then we can just kind of trim them up, trim up the edges, get rid of some of this garbage. All right, next thing I did was I put my dado blades on here, and the reason being is I want to cut a channel in the board. I don't want to just mount the plexiglass right to the frame. I want to have it actually recessed in a little bit so that it stays flush. So I'm going to go ahead and run a groove on all these boards before I miter them down to 45 and then assemble them. Okay, so you can see what I did there. I cut a channel in there, and now when I put the glass, it's going to sink down in here, and then I'll just run a bead of caulking or something on there to hold the glass in place. That way it's all recessed. All right, let me finish doing up the rest of these. Okay, so they've all been channeled. Now I have to cut the miters. I'm going to do some 45-degree angles on here, and we'll make up the framework. Okay, next thing we're going to do is just give all these boards a quick sanding just to smooth them out a little bit, and then I'm going to paint the sides while I'm working on the framework. Some stain on the wooden pieces, so we're just doing a couple of coats there. Now, as far as the framework, what I'm doing is I'm gluing up the corners, and then I'm using my band clamp here to keep it all nice and tight, and then I'm going to actually put some staples just to give it a little extra strength to keep it together. So we'll do that, and then we'll get all the framework together. Okay, now we get the framework. I'm going to let that glue dry. And we'll move on to the next one. All right, so I got all the frames made up for the two sides, the back, and the front door. And they're all glued together, and you can see they all have a channel in there. So I'm going to take the plexiglass and I'm just going to recess it into the frame so that way it sits nice and flush. got all those panels painted. Gonna end up just slipping those back in. We'll screw down the roof and get that tiled and put some of that metal on the top of it. And it's probably gonna wrap it up for today. I've been out here all day. Next weekend, maybe we can finish it up. But got a lot done today, so it's good. Just gonna keep plugging along, and pretty soon it'll be done, and we can get it back out into the chicken coop. All right, guys. Hope you have a good week. If you like the video, give a thumbs up, give a like, give a share, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tell your friends. And I'll catch you later.